video is probably pretty relevant to everybody. Everybody that's around my age, at least. And that's the boring texter. I know we've all kind of encountered somebody who, I mean, they might be interesting in person, they might be fun to talk to, but they're just a boring texter. And the thing is, sometimes we might have boring conversations and not realize that we are the boring texters. I mean, I don't really have that happen because I'm just kind of a weird person anyway, so I mean, weird and random, like random stuff, it'll always pop into my head unless it's just like somebody I'm not that comfortable with. So anyway, I have some tips on how to become a better texter, or at least how to have better text conversations. So my first thing is the rules of texting, which are like, okay, you should kind of know these. For one thing, do not one word somebody, like the K, the LOL. Like, that's not even a word, it's an acronym. Okay, if you really want to have a conversation with somebody, do not expect one words to cut it, because it's annoying, and haha and okay and yup. That is not conversation. That is just like dragging out a dead conversation to try to make it into something. It's no, don't do it. Just like think of something. It's boring and rude. And also, don't take 20 minutes to reply. If you want to have a conversation, I mean, just, it's, no, 20 minutes, that's kind of, 30 minutes for sure, that's way too long. Slow texters get, like, no love, so don't do it. It ruins any potential good conversation you could have. So just don't do that. And, okay, if you're going to text somebody, try to text them in the same language, which is, like, don't be texting with like threes for E's and at signs for A's and all this craziness. Try to keep it basic, you know? I mean, somebody shouldn't have to decipher what you're writing to them. And some people, like, they just don't get it. I mean, I feel like it's more work. Why would you want to work extra hard just to look retarded? But, and don't double text somebody. So if you think somebody hasn't gotten your text, most likely they did. They might be busy, they might be ignoring you, but don't double text them. I mean, unless you think your phone's messing up, just don't do it. So now for the actual text conversation. For one thing, the most important thing is just to be yourself, because you're having a conversation, most likely with somebody you know, so you already know them, and what works in person, like, that should work for a text conversation. But if you're having a boring conversation, and I guess you're being yourself, I mean, you can kind of, maybe you just don't know them as well. So I know a good thing is, like, if you don't know somebody, it's a lot harder to have a good conversation with them. So maybe a game like 20 questions is a good game. Or just playing something like Would You Rather. Like, if you guys are just bored, both of you guys are bored, and you just want to be entertained, then that's something that's cool to do. So that you can talk about each other's lives, you know, how's it going? But don't get trapped in the what are you doing? Like, it gets repetitive if you're not coming up with something interesting. Like, you're just like, what are you doing? Homework. Oh, that's cool. We know that we both think that homework is boring and that we can't think of anything to say. So try to say something kind of interesting and talk about, you know, each other's lives. Don't just talk about yourself, because nobody wants to hear about you, because nobody cares. And humor is always appreciated, but don't try too hard. Like, if that's not your personality, then just, you know, don't know when to be serious. Don't interrogate. From personal experience, like, a million questions does not equal a conversation. That means you're trying kind of too hard. So, I mean, go with the flow. If you want to ask a lot of questions and it goes with the flow, I mean, that's good. Or if you're paying 20 questions, of course, you know. And don't over edit yourself and find yourself being so shy that you don't say something that you want to say. I mean, it depends on who you're talking to, but, like, you know, don't be afraid to be a little bit silly. Like, if you're around my age, I mean, not if you're like 30. That's, I mean, well, I don't know what 30-year-olds do, shoot. But, yeah. And don't be afraid to give details, you know, keep the conversation interesting. If you keep it really dry, it's just that's gonna be a dusty conversation, and nobody wants that. Keep it interesting, and it's more fun. So that's basically all I have to say about interesting texting from my experience. If you guys have any comments, just leave them below. Subscribe or like. This is my first video, so tell me how you feel, and thanks for watching.
Baby,